And we're back again. Hi, I'm Judson MacDonald. I'm an international trainer, presenter, and assessor for BODYSTEP, and I am here to chat with you about 136. In addition to BODYSTEP, I teach a bunch of stuff: body tack, body pump, body jam, Lesmos core, Lesmos shapes, yay! The whole gambit. Pretty much anything except cycling and yoga. I can't stay still very well. As the years go on and things change, and as the seasons change, what doesn't change is my why. I feel a very strong connection to our program essence, uplifted and alive. How do we bring people on the journey to take that hour, that 45 minutes, that 30 minutes, to help them feel like they're stepping away from what's challenging in life to just be kids again? Similar like when we used to play in recess. Being outdoors, engaging with one another, that feeling can be replicated in the group fitness space. And what better program to do it than BODYSTEP? Want to give a special shout out to our new BODYSTEP instructors in the US. Welcome along to the journey. You're stepping into BODYSTEP in a great place where we're coming from a new format change a few releases ago, and we're getting into the sweet spot in terms of our music, our moves, and the ways that we deliver that to our classes around the country. And I want to give a special shout out to 4 new instructors that I trained in the last couple of months: Alfredo, Colette, Kiana, and Myra. Hello. So what is unique about this release? Well, we're starting to see the sweet spot of 3 different things, as I mentioned: music, moves, and then the autonomy, how we make the workout our own as instructors and participants. The first of these is our music. Finding the sweet spot of music selection is something that Mark and Kayla and the creative team have continued to work on as they've evolved the program since release 131. Relevant music that's original, as well as those nostalgic, feel-good throwbacks, help us appeal to multiple audiences that attend BODYSTEP. You're gonna see stuff from TikTok, you're gonna see stuff from the 90s, you're gonna see Destiny's Child. There's great consideration into every release of BODYSTEP. What is the journey of contrast that we create so that we connect to people who are here for the throwbacks, the things they're hearing online, the things they're hearing on the radio, and sometimes some future sounds that push us into the future. I can't promise anything, but if you use the Suggest a Song feature, by Googling that with Les Mills, you can find our site to suggest your favorite tracks. Just make sure you list BODYSTEP as the program you're referring it for. I'm not making any guarantees, but I have referred a couple of instructors that way, and those songs did show up in the last couple of years, so something to consider. Second thing is moves. In just a moment, we'll talk a little more detail about the challenges and the inspiration of some of the newer moves we see in 136. And third, making the workout your own. As we continue to make BODYSTEP accessible to all types of movers, things to consider when we say making something your own. The 5 key elements, non-negotiable, right? Using our coaching model is expected. Following the choreography as prescribed is expected. Delivering our moves with role model technique is expected. The blending of the key elements is where you come in. Remember back to initial training when we talk about becoming and delivering the ultimate you. This goes for us role modeling our ultimate you to our participants, as well as empowers them to be their ultimate selves. Some ways we can do that are showing up authentically in the ways that we're feeling the moves. When things are hard, acknowledging it out loud and trying not to keep that inside. This is hard, y'all. I'm gonna go for the last 4. Who's coming with me? If you do it, I'll do it too. Breaking that wall of I'm elite, I'm the best athlete in the room, it helps people relate to you better. When we talk about making the workout your own, it's thinking of the masterclass video as an example of all the levels, the potential from low intensity to high intensity, low complexity to high complexity, all of the ranges of where your class can go. One key metric I like to remember is from Dr. Bryce Hastings. When I deliver a move, I show the range of options and I pause 16 counts, 32 counts, take it, be silent, just take a look around. What are the people doing? 80% of what you see happening on the floor, stick with that option as the instructor. Making the workout your own is using your expert hat to determine which level of the workout needs to happen today. How can I adjust for this side of the room that looks like they need more versus this side of the room that may need a little less? We're never gonna be perfect coaches. When you can let the burden of perfection fall off and own that you're gonna make mistakes, you're gonna struggle to figure out how to differentiate the movement for everybody, that's part of the job. And some of the most rewarding parts of BODYSTEP are when you're able to do that, maybe for 1 track, 2 tracks. Sometimes it happens for the whole class, and you feel so connected and empowered. Imagine how that feels from the receiving end as someone that's in the audience of your class. Magic. Care, respect, there's connection, all going back to the 5 key elements. This is one of the reasons why in this masterclass and continuing forward, you'll see more pauses in between tracks to show how the people that are teaching you are actually changing their risers out as well. They're grabbing water, they're toweling off. If you've been around like me, sometimes it would be jarring to see one cut of the track finish and then you go straight into the next one and you're like, hello, actually in my class, I don't have fitness carpet. I don't have fancy risers. I don't have someone DJing the music for me. The evolution of filming will continue to show better representation of what it's like to teach an actual class. And this is to the benefit of instructor learning, as well as mover engagement on our platforms such as Lesmos Plus. Enough big picture, Judson. Let's talk about the moves. Track 3, we have steady state cardio. This one has foot patterns with a little bit of complexity that start slow and speed up to pace over time. Dee's script and presentation of this track is awesome. Follow along with Dee's coaching skills here because there's stuff that you can just borrow and put into your own words. When we think about the T-step in this move, set it up for success with your phonetic cues. Step on, side, on, step change. On, side, on, step change. Creating the T pattern with our bodies, we begin to add rhythm. Replicate the rhythm with phonetic cues such as papa, papa, da-da, da-da. This accentuates the staggering of the feet to reduce the impact on the step and to help your participants move accurately. Not only is rhythm fun, but it has an agile component as well. When our feet move faster with rhythm, it challenges our mind to move faster, which has an athletic training focus as well as an engagement purpose in our class. Dee speaks about a bunny rabbit hopping through the field, which relates to my heart as a bunny lover times 1,000. But if the bunny imagery does not work for you, hop, 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 hippity, hop, 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 you can try something more athletic, like don't wake the neighbors below you. Stay agile and light on your feet. Track 4. This one has direction. When we're thinking about direction, it's trusting the body to set up the pattern and to keep moving, knowing that we're moving left to right, right to left. Oh my gosh. As coaches, it's our responsibility to help people move with success on the floor as quickly as possible. Mark's suggestion, as well as Kayla's, is to simply use your hand to signal direction versus trying to think too hard about right and left and coaching that verbally. It's easy just to say, move this way versus move to the left. Left, right, left, right, right, left. Make things simpler for yourself and your participants and commit to strong visual cues versus thinking too hard about your verbal ones. Imagine directing an airplane. Move this way. Move this way. Maybe not up there. Track 6, peak 2, lateral cardio peak training. In this new era of BODYSTEP, you may have been like me. Hey, Les Mills, I don't have a smart step at my gym. I'm not gonna do skaters with an adjustable step and risers that would fling off the moment I jumped on them. Lateral propulsive moves in a peak 2 track like this, when we're concerned about a wooden floor that slips or a set of risers we don't feel confident in, can make lateral training feel a little anxiety inducing. This is one of the reasons that the skater in this track focuses more on a down and up versus a side to side motion. As you jump, you indeed are jumping laterally. However, the landing is what counts. If we're pushing side to side, we risk the step or the riser sliding out of place if our gym has well-loved steps. If we jump on, focusing on the down and up motion, we create a safer platform of stability. For this reason, you can check out different presenters in this track. Check out some of the taller folks versus the shorter folks and notice how, despite longer legs, they still focus on the down and up motion in this track. This still fulfills our purpose of cardio training while also acknowledging the safety concerns of moving side to side from a floor stability to a step stability. Make this a feature of your coaching by complementing the down and up motion in your technique, as well as explicitly acknowledging it when you coach it for the first time. Some ways you can try this are sink your hips back and down. You can offer the option of stepping on and off to complement the down and up focus versus pushing laterally. Track 7, conditioning 1, hip strength. I love the hip strength tracks. I'm really curious if y'all like it too. I've noticed that just as an instructor, I'm feeling differences in my hip mobility and strength as I work remotely and I sit down a lot. So I'm feeling differences since I've been regularly doing these tracks with my classes and practicing outside of class as well. I've asked my participants too, and I've heard really great feedback from them. Folks have told me that they're feeling less knee pain. Some folks have complimented this move helping them sit down and back, such as sitting into the car or coming in from a side angle. I'd love to know if you all are hearing similar things as well. In the standing combo for this track, the movements are meant to be quite small. Think more about the feeling inside versus the movement that we see on the outside. Internal cues will help you with this focus, such as speaking to the different muscles that are activated as we circle down and up. D references putting on the brakes. And I think this is an amazing way to help people feel the ways their muscles contract and how they can use their own stability and strength to stop the movement. Same thing with a thoracic twist. It comes from the center of your chest, and it's quite small, yes? Keeping the elbows wide for the integrity of the rotation and keeping the hips square, simply turn the sternum towards the 15 to 20 degree line. Mark's great tip for me in this track was to think of aligning my chest with the inside of my knee. This helped me remember visually where to stop my chest, as I have a lot of participants when we do twists like this that want to turn 90 degrees, 45 degrees. It's a small rotation with big benefits deep down into the muscles. The attitude in its name is a fierce move, and it's one to continue practicing. And it's something to practice outside of class really specifically so you can coach it appropriately in a short amount of time as well, and know how to modify it quick, because not everyone will be able to do the full potential of this move. And that's okay. As you look on the presenter stage, notice the modifications, such as Nell, who will keep the foot tapping towards the ground, versus Mark in the back, who is keeping the rainbows high, keeping the strength by not coming down to the ground to tap. Neither option is better than the other, but they're both important to practice as instructors so we can modify and show based on what people need in front of us. Also, use common sense. If you notice that you're teaching a new body step class and no one's done it before, perhaps just start with the tapping option on the floor and slowly climb your way to the higher levels. Just take your time coaching this move. Focus on the setup, give folks a moment to do it, and know that they may do it wrong a little bit. Assess foot up into the shoulder. How can I pace those compulsory cues so that over the course of that first round, they can learn to do the move? Remember, people can't learn until they try. Give them time to try and slowly reinforce that beautiful correct position. They will get it over time. Uh-oh, do you hear them? It's the Swifties, and they're coming for you. And it may even be you behind the screen. Athletic circuit. Thank goodness, a Taylor Swift song back again in Body Step. Who could have known? We want to go hard to the end with this track as it's our last cardio track of the class, but we also want people to feel that we are encouraging them and hyping them up no matter the level they choose. Just keep moving. Even in the track focus, check your choreography notes. Mark says, we want people to feel like we are their hype crew no matter the option they choose. Mana, the presenter that starts out teaching this track, does a really nice job of bringing the energy and using her voice to scale it with the intensity of the movements. So play with those levels in your own voice. And Kayla made a special note to us here, and she said, quite literally, it's free to borrow. Play around with some of the words they do, modify them, make them your own so that they land in a way that's authentic to you. And finally, track 10A. This is conditioning 2, glute strength. The halo is back for our beehive. One thing I notice when training new instructors and seeing my own participants is that often the elbows flare out quite wide in this move. Keep the elbows in as you circle the crown of the head and keep the core tight and compressed. And that's gonna help you feel the rotation of this movement as well as reap the benefits from it as we superset it with a deadlift. When we come down to the floor in this track, one of the biggest pitfalls I see for both participants and instructors is the shoulders being too far back in the forearm plank. Before starting this move, cue your participants in the setup, hands down, forearms on the step, roll your chest between your elbows. If you have a smart step, you can use the red line as well as an indicator of where to align the heart line for your participants. Whether they're on their knees or the toes or they're kneeling in this move, this will help pull some of the load off the shoulders so they can isolate deeper into the core muscles, the glute strength, and feel more of that versus the shoulders. So roll the chest forward, aligning it with the center of your step. So what else, Judson? What else do you have to share with me about Body Step 136? I don't know about you, but my favorite track off the release, honestly, I really like the warm-up. I love when a warm-up just kind of gets in there and like sets the attitude, and this one does it for me. Simple, effective, And it gives a lot of windows for you to just kind of set up the move and just play around with your class and talk to them. And it gets you in the zone pretty quickly. So this is one that I've definitely been listening to on repeat in my car. Well, hey, I'll just say one of my tips is something I'm trying right now is just reacting more in the moment. I come in with scripts a lot and I have ideas of good things I want to say, but sometimes the best things come out when you just kind of leave the space there and you react. Working the reaction skill helps you put on your coach's hat faster, and your brain will connect faster to those things that you know super well. Trusting your mind to pull on those things and kind of react in the moment is pretty surprising, and that keeps instructing really interesting for me. Are you gonna say the wrong thing sometimes? Absolutely. Is it funny as heck to say? Yes. I've had a great time chatting about 136 with you. In summary, head back to your release, spend some time thinking and reflecting on those 3 items. The music and how we're evolving, the moves and how you can refine role model technique to show up in the best way, to modify and to inspire. And 3, make the workout your own. How can you commit to the 5 key elements while also blending them in a way that shows the ultimate you? How can you modify? How can you react? How can you do something that you've never done before in BODYSTEP this round? That is my challenge to you. And if you want to tell me about it, feel free to head over to Judson Mac on Instagram. You can shoot me a message wherever. I'd love to hear. I will listen to you and I will heart and I will say, yes, yes, insert your name. That is you being a better BODYSTEP instructor. And hey, if you're interested in some more tips, I've got some awesome education that I put out every Monday on my Instagram at Judson Mac. And be sure to check out the rest of our TAP team members. Lots of awesome folks are putting out great content nowadays on weekly bases, on monthly bases, on pretty much any platform, hashtags like Les Mills or hashtag BODYSTEP, to check out and find some of that content out there as well. There's a great wealth in all of our learning, and it's so cool to see so many people sharing it amongst the team. And with that, I am back to watch Love is Blind UK. I hope you join me, and I hope you're not from the UK. See you next time.